Hi everyone, welcome to my video where I'm going to talk to you about my 35, 40 plus pound weight loss. I don't know why I'm so nervous or been so hesitant to make this video. I think I have some ideas. So a little bit about me. I am 52 years old and I have recently lost 35 pounds, but I've lost probably closer to 50 or more, and a little more into why I don't know exactly how much I've lost as we get into this video. And I'm going to do my best to consolidate it to three main components that have helped me. And I think part of the reason I've been hesitant, I am a registered dietitian, and I almost feel like a bit of a fraud that I haven't been able to do this previously. It is what it is. So let's talk about the three components that have helped me because I think they fall into three general categories. And that is quality, timing and consistency, and measuring and measurements. Okay, so let's talk about the quality first. And with quality, I am talking about the quality of the food that I eat, because this is how I have lost this weight. And I am a believer through this process that there isn't any one correct way for anybody to lose weight. So I can't stress that enough that, I'm not a doctor. I am a dietitian, and I say that with great hesitancy because I'm a bit ashamed that it's taken me this long in my life to get to this place where I'm comfortable talking about my own weight journey. I don't like to talk about my weight. So everybody has a different journey. My husband has also lost a significant amount of weight, like 50 plus pounds. And while we've been on a similar journey, he does things a little bit different. And in my professional career as well, I have seen different things work for different people. So that said, I am focusing on whole real foods, and I know that seems like a no-brainer. I will tell you, for me, I have to eat very low carb in order to see a result. I don't think everybody does, and I think I have to stress enough that you have to find what works for you. There's something very interesting that I don't think is discussed very often, and that is your body type and your genetic predisposition. It's very obvious. If you look around, you probably all know somebody, or maybe if this is you, I'm speaking to, but there's people that are genetically predisposed to gain weight easily, gain fat easily, and there's other people who are genetically very lean naturally. And so I'm not that latter. I'm the first. I'm genetically very easy to gain fat. And not only that, the fat that I gain is around the midsection. And I know that that is a precursor for a lot of diseases and things like that. And so I really wanted to get a handle on that. And I have found through the course of, I have tested ketones, I have worn a glucose monitor, all of that to say that I know I do not handle carbohydrates well. And so through my own learning, I have to eat very low carb to see that success. That doesn't mean that everybody has to do that. I do take a little bit of, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people in my profession, being a dietitian, honestly, are those people that are naturally lean. And you can't come from the same mindset being naturally lean and be able to expect those same results the way you eat on to somebody who is not naturally lean, if that makes sense. Like it's no fault of my own that my metabolism is the way it is. And just because a naturally lean person can eat fruits, vegetables, and grains and not have a weight issue does not mean that I can, or that you can, or that somebody else can. So again, I think it is so important that you consider the uniqueness factor of this and figure out what works for you. I'm really considering pursuing this avenue as far as in the online space, creating groups, because I think it is so fascinating to learn how other people have had success or struggle, because I think when you hear other people's journeys, you may be like, maybe I should try that. Maybe that would work for me. I mean, I don't expect everybody to have success with what I'm doing, but I do think it's interesting to hear how other people have had success and in kind of a judgment-free zone. So that's just one idea I'm pondering. If that is something that you think would be interesting down the road, put it in the comment, because I am legit serious about creating that type of forum or environment. But needless to say, I digress a bit. I have eaten very low carb to have this success. Like I said, I'm not quite, I don't think, at my ideal landing spot, so to speak. I'm about 148, 49 right now, and I would like to maybe lose about 10 more pounds. I'm going to try to put some pictures in here if I can do it. I think I have them on the thumbnail, but just to kind of, to be honest, I didn't have a lot of pictures, full body pictures of me from the past, because I didn't take full body pictures of myself. So the ones I had to get from my kids and other people that took them of me. Ugh, and I can't stand looking at them. So it's hard for me. But do know that like a big chunk of my weight loss has come from since October 1st of let's see, we're in 2023, so of 2022 until now, which it's April 2023. That has been a big part of it, but over the course, some of those pictures, I'm even heavier, obviously, by looking at them from like probably the pandemic, 2020, maybe 2019, 2020, maybe where I hit my heaviest. I'm not really sure, because I was a bit in denial. I don't know if that's relatable to any of you, but was me. So I know from a measuring point how much I've lost from October 1st, but from prior to that, I really don't know. I'm guessing based on pictures. So anyway, some people have had success eating, if you are eating low carb, like protein bars, protein powders, low carb snacks and things like that. I try to limit that, because I find I do better when I have real food, make a meal out of it, and don't snack. Not to say I'm not an all or nothing person. I don't even know how to characterize my diet. You might call it a ketogenic diet, almost carnivore, but I'm not carnivore. So, I mean, it's very much animal based. I'm not afraid of fat. I am very low carbohydrate. It's interesting. I try to minimize, like I said, I don't get a lot of the protein. I don't like protein powder and things like that. So I don't like the taste of it. And I would rather have more real food than like supplement with some of those fake products. Again, it's me. Some people find that those are good, kind of a crutch to get you over the hump if you're trying, you do you, but that didn't work for me, and I don't particularly like those products. I'm a big water drinker, plain old water. I don't need to flavor my water. I've always liked regular water, so I guess that's good, because I know flavored water is like a whole thing, but not for me. And I drink coffee, and I drink quite a bit of coffee. Well, I mean, I usually have 3 cups a day. I drink it black in the morning, and then maybe for my 3rd cup, I might have cream in it. And then a lot of times I will even, oh gosh, I'm having 4 cups, I guess, a lot of times I might make an iced coffee in the early afternoon, or a cappuccino or something like that. So I do have coffee, but other than that, it's water. And the other thing I do have on occasion is alcohol. I've learned what works for me. So I used to drink beer. I like beer and wine, but I've tried to switch more to finding some mixed drinks that work for me that I like. I'm not a huge drinker, but it's nice to know that on occasion I can have a drink and not go off the rails with my weight progress. So my drink of choice these days is a ranch water, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a seltzer water. I'm in Texas. We have Topo Chico with fresh lime and tequila, and that works well for me. So, and I like that pretty well. So I have a lot of eggs and beef. I like beef more than I like chicken. Some seafood, things like that, and cheese, and obviously the cream that I put in my coffee and stuff like that. So that's a lot of what I eat. I don't want to get in the mindset of I can't ever have X again, because that won't work for me. It's like a mind game. So I'm trying to take it day by day but really focus on whole foods and not a lot of the processed, you know, bars and snack foods that are out there, because I don't find that I need it. So, which leads me into the second point that has helped me lose weight, and that is the timing. I know intermittent fasting is a huge thing, but I have found it doesn't really work for me. Well, to a point. Let me explain. I know I've tried several day fasts and I've been miserable, and it just the constant thoughts of food and hunger were just, I really have struggled with it, and I've tried it, and I may try it again in the future. Maybe I'll do better. I don't know. But I feel like maybe it was causing elevated stress hormones in me that were really probably working against me and my weight loss. So, and I know, like I said, intermittent fasting, people talk about not eating until noon, and forever I tried that tactic. But I can tell you, for me, the eating pattern that has given me the most success is to eat like a breakfast time, like at 8 or 9 in the morning, and then eating again. I eat one other time just because I'm not hungry. And that's the benefit to eating very low carb and getting enough protein and fat, is that you're not hungry. And eating again can be anywhere like 3 o'clock, something like that, but early, and then stop eating. And I know that sounds like, to a lot of people, like, ew. But I've had the most success with that. I feel the best. My weight drops the fastest that way. And is it practical for every single day? No. And so but for my kind of odd schedule, where a lot of the times it's just me, I do that. I take advantage of the times where I know it's just me on my own for dinner or meals or whatever, because then I can stop eating and I don't have to worry about anybody else. But it's not to say, yes, I'll go out to dinner with my husband, or yes, I'll eat dinner later if there's something going on. But when I really want to like hunker down, and because honestly, being 52 years old, the weight does not come off as fast as it like did for my husband. So I have to really like plug away at it. And that's when I do that, I get the biggest results the quickest. And then it's kind of like my weight goes, you know, it'll drop and then kind of hover, drop, you know, especially now that I've come down. I mean, it came down quicker earlier, but now it's taking longer and slower. But that's okay, because I want to eventually get to a landing place and give myself kind of a range to stay in, and learn to eat and keep within that range. So for me, I guess it's a form of intermittent fasting, because I'm fasting into the evening and the overnight versus doing it in the morning. The morning bit, just I don't have as good results. And I find personally, I'm a morning person. So if I get up and if I eat, I'm no longer hungry, and I'm not like waiting around all morning to eat, which is kind of how I felt. And I feel like I'm more productive and can get things done because I've eaten, check it off my list. I'm not hungry, and I can go about doing what I need to do. So again, just throwing it out there as far as what works for me. I know other people completely shift their eating and that works for them. So that's great, but that was not for me. And then finally, the last thing, and by far the most important thing that has contributed to my weight loss, has been weighing myself daily. And I know this is controversial because coming from a place of a dietitian where we say, oh, don't weigh more than once a week. The reality is that for me, because I do track what I eat currently, I didn't always do that on this weight loss journey, but now that I'm getting down to a slower weight loss pace and closer to where I kind of want to land, I like to see and reflect back on what I ate with how it corresponded to my weight. I have the scale we have this Renpho scale, body composition scale. We love it. We're obsessed. We own 2 of them so that while my husband was working in another city, he had one there. We kept one here. We have traveled with it. So I know some people are absolutely opposed to weighing yourself daily. And again, that's fine. I am obsessed with weighing myself daily. Maybe that's not a good term to use, but it allows me to make tweaks where I need to, and allows me to adjust course before I get too off course. I didn't realize how quickly you can gain weight in the course of a day or two of maybe poor eating choices. And this is just a way for me to get back on track, stay on track, and not let things get too far off track before it becomes, it's one thing to have a 2 or 3 pound weight gain, but you wait a couple more days and it's a couple more pounds. And before you know it, you're 10 pounds up. And that would be so defeating if you're, really trying to pay attention. And so I weigh myself every morning, and they have an app on your phone, so it tracks it for you, and you can see all your body composition, your BMI, all that stuff. The sun's coming out in a weird place. So that is by far, and I will say this, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but for so long I didn't weigh myself because I think I was afraid of what it would say, and I thought I was using the excuse that I gave people, and that is go by how your clothes fit, which is true. I mean, you can go by how your clothes fit, but the reality was I was using that as a crutch because I didn't want to know the truth, and I didn't want to see the truth. That's just like I didn't want to see myself in pictures. And if I only weighed myself weekly, I would miss the opportunity to see how I reacted to what I ate the day before. Some people may think that, but I totally believe that. It's a measurement in terms of how your body responded via inflammation, bloating, you name it. I'm not saying it's all fat loss, but this thing also shows, muscle, water, all those things. And you can even include your measurements on here. So I have tracked my measurements as well, which is part of the reason I've chosen to, keep going on the weight loss just a little bit more because of my body type, which is that apple shape, and I tend to accumulate in the middle. I am focused on my waist to hip ratio, and I want to get it down to a point that's a nice, healthy, low risk. And while all of my numbers on the scale are green, meaning good, that measurement is one I'm taking. So I don't know, it's not like measured by the scale. It's one I have to actually physically measure myself and put the numbers in. So there's probably a degree of human error, but I'm not quite to where I want that to be fully out, protected from disease and things like that. So, but I would be it would be hard for me to stay on track if I only did it weekly, because I would miss some of those weight gain moments, bigger weight loss moments, and track it back to what you had the day before to see what contributed and maybe, or the timing or things like that. So I know I speak for my husband. He's the same way. That is absolutely number one, kept us on track, is having a scale and weighing ourselves daily. And if you're looking for a scale and you're interested, we love this one. And we've recommended it to people. And again, it tracks everything on your phone for you. So it's very handy. And we've even, like I said, traveled it through. We keep the box that comes in and throw it in our suitcase, our luggage, and we travel with it too. So, and that's not to say that we don't give ourselves grace. We went to Disney, the Food and Wine Festival, and agreed that we were not going to worry about it. We didn't take the scale on that trip, but we did come back and had lost had gained 5 pounds in 2 or 3 day period. So, and it just takes longer for that to come back off, especially for me compared to him. So again, that is in a nutshell what I did. And if you notice, exercise was not part of this equation. I am not saying that exercise isn't important, but I know for me, has not been part of what has contributed to my weight loss. My husband has a different mindset there. I think he thinks it has for him. And that's good. I mean, it's not like there's anything wrong with exercising, but the times I have lost probably the most significant amount of weight sometimes have been when I'm not exercising. Because I walk daily. I don't do hardcore cardio at all. I think that's a bigger stressor for me. So I walk. I've always walked. I do a little bit of yoga, stretching, and I do some strength training a few times a week, and that's it. And I love the sauna when I have access to it. So, but I don't feel like that's been a major player in this helping. Sure, maybe, but I don't think for me it has been a major player. So just to summarize, what has helped is the quality of the food I'm eating, really focusing on whole foods. And with the foods, for me, what has helped is very low carb. And then the timing of my meals, my eating window being earlier has worked best for me. And then lastly, measuring consistently so that I stay on track and don't, I guess most importantly, don't get too far off track too quickly. And if I am weighing myself daily, it's a really good self-check so that I don't get off track. So thank you for watching the video. Let me know your comments. This was still kind of hard for me to make. I'm not always comfortable talking about it, but if you're interested in more specifics on like what I eat in a day or things like that, let me know and I'll start brainstorming on that video and getting one of those put together for you, because it's pretty simple. I usually only eat twice a day. So thank you again for watching. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.